Hey everyone, delighted to have you here as always. Today's topic is on creating content for your freelance website. So with your freelance website, maybe you have a bio, a bit about your background, about your experience, what you do, what you're passionate about, that sort of thing. Maybe you list out a services page with some of the different kind of services that you offer for clients. Perhaps you have some testimonials and case studies, and then obviously the contact us page where people can inquire about your services. So that might be the general structure, or roughly around that. Some of you might just have a one-page website. Some of you might break that down into different pages and categories, but that might be what it looks like. So how can you create new content to continuously update your website, and why should you do that? So I'm going to outline in this video those key steps and give you some actionable next steps you can take as well. So first of all, let's talk about the reason why this is important. So it could be in the form of a blog, and the content on that blog gives you credibility. It gives you authority in both your potential prospects' eyes, but also search engines as well, and you can share that content on social media. So by creating a piece of content for your website, you can repurpose that and publish it on multiple platforms to get as much reach as possible. And what will happen over time is you'll build up this bank of amazing content on your kind of area of expertise, so that when people come to look for a freelancer, they're going to have website A, which maybe has all the things I listed earlier, a good background, a good bio, some good case studies. Website B that has the same, but then also some really informative educational content around the area of expertise, which really confirms for the prospect, wow, this person knows what they're doing. They have given me some really helpful content in advance, so there's kind of that reciprocity dynamic starting to get underway. So that's why it is really important. And it doesn't have to be in the form of a blog. You could look at it in other ways, but essentially it's just about adding new content to your website. Now, in terms of how to go about this, in thinking of the topics, what are you going to write about, what are you going to talk about on your website, is to look at a few things, particularly if you have some experience in your sector. And that doesn't need to be as a freelancer. Of course, you may have been an employee for a while and then decided to start working for yourself, as a lot of people who come to this channel are, is to think about what were the questions you would consistently get asked by your clients, or as an employee, again, if you're working with the business, what were the questions that would come up repeatedly, some of the challenges and the problems, to start to just list them out. And then what you can do from there is say, okay, well, I can group these together into a category, or maybe they're a standalone topic of their own right because they're so important. And you can literally write a blog post answering those questions, because you know they're frequently asked. Prospects in your target sector care about these things. So the likelihood is they're maybe going to be searching for them on Google, or if they see them pop up on LinkedIn or Twitter, they're going to be like, oh, click that. Wow, this is something I've been looking for a while. And even if most people ignore it, that's fine. You don't really need to reach everybody. You just want to reach the people who actually care. So this core target audience you're kind of reaching out, and who are your target ideal fit clients, that content will appeal to them, and that is what matters. So that's a really good starting place, I find. Of course, if you're going down the SEO route, trying to increase your organic search traffic, you can use some of the tools out there which can help you with keyword research, so you can find out exactly what people are searching online. You have some free tools like Answer the Public. It's quite a good one for giving you a list of questions, and then use something like Ubersuggest to get the keyword volumes. There are paid tools, of course, which give you some more detail if you really want to go down that route, and it can be very effective over time. But those tools will give you a bit of idea. Another great place to find topics to write about is in communities. So online communities, Slack groups, circle groups, that type of thing, where your target audience are talking and exchanging ideas and maybe asking questions, because you can go through those historic questions and you can maybe again start to see patterns, or identify a couple of topics where you feel that you could really add some value. Go away and create a blog post on that, publish it on your site, and again, you can actually share that in the communities, because of course I've talked about it in previous video on community marketing, which I will link to if you're interested in that. It's a very good way of building up your credibility in your sector, but also to be effective, as I say in that video, in those communities, you can't be promoting yourself or trying to sell your services. You need to be adding value, and this is a great example of how you can do that through content on your website. And if you consistently do this over time, just think of it now, if you do this for a year, right? Let's say you're publishing a blog post every week or every fortnight. after a year, you're going to have this bank of amazing content on your website, and almost every question that a prospect might ask, you can refer them to a blog post on your site. Or if something comes up in a Twitter feed and you have an article, you can link to it. If something comes up in the community, the chances are you have something around that topic. So you're building up this super valuable bank of resources. Over time, you're going to want to go back and refresh some of the older posts. So maybe a year down the line, you might just want to check if you've done let's say an article on 5 social media tips for growing your Instagram following, for example. If you're a social media marketer, that may have changed a year down the line. So you want to keep that content nice and fresh. But yeah, by having this bank, you're going to have a really good resource of content that you can publish. So yeah, I think it's a really important thing to do. It's super valuable for when I was growing my freelancing business, and I see it work for many others as well. So yeah, as always, hope that was of value. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And any further comments in terms of how you would go about creating content for your website, really keen to hear them. So do post them below the video. Thank you very much.